Good day and welcome to the news at 6 on Miitv. I am Tomisi Ojo. The 36 state governors under the aegis of the Nigeria Governors Forum (NGF) have written to the Senate on the proposed electricity bill, rejecting the bill in its entirety. The governor said if it sails through, it will disrobe the states of their constitutionally defined rules. In a letter to the Chairman Senate Committee on Power, Senator Gabriel Soswam, and copied the President of the Senate, Senator Ahmed Lawan, and the Speaker, House of Representatives, Femi Gbajabiamila. Chairman of the NGF and Ekiti State Governor Dr. Kayode Fayemi said the bill must be jettisoned because it is injurious to the states with regards to generation, transmission and distribution of electricity in their domain. The bill is expected to be presented tomorrow, Tuesday, at the Senate by the former governor of Benue State, governor and now chairman of Committee on Power, Tuesday at the Senate. The Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board (JAM) says the 2022 Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination (UTME) mock examination will now hold on the 9th of April and not the 16th of April as earlier scheduled. The board made this known in its weekly bulletin of the Office of the Registrar Monday in Abuja. JAM said that the change was due to the realization that April 16 earlier scheduled was an Easter Saturday, a holy Saturday, celebrated by Christians to mark the end of the Lent period before Easter Sunday. The board also noted that the date for the exercise had been affected also by the shift in date for the registration of the UTME and direct entry, which was earlier scheduled for the 12th of February, but later commenced on the 19th of February. It, however, urged all candidates who registered and would want to sit for the mock examination to note the change of date and be prepared. Reports say the 2022 registration commenced on Saturday, 19th of February, and it's expected to end on the 26th of March. The UTME, however, has been scheduled by JAM to hold from the 6th to the 16th of May. In a similar development, JAM said it had made significant progress in the ongoing registration of candidates for the 2022 exercise. And the National Association of Nigerian Students (NANS) has threatened to block all federal government roads in Oyo from Tuesday if the Academic Staff Union of Universities (ASU) strike continues. Reports say that a section of NANS members from Zone B made the threat on Monday. The members spoke while protesting at the Nigerian Union of Journalists Press Center, Iyagoku, Ibadan, led by its Southwest coordinator, Stephen Tegbe. The association also advised the federal government and ASU to resolve their crisis for the sake of students. It said that there was no need for strike if issues were settled amicably. Reports say the students carried placards with various inscriptions, some of which are federal government and ASU, stop the madness, stop the strike, and revitalize our education. Chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission (EFCC) Abdul Rashid Bawa has appealed to core members to intensify their efforts in public sensitization on the dangers of corruption. Speaking during the signing of a memorandum of understanding with the National Youth Service Corps in Abuja, Bawa stressed that the activities of fraudsters gave the country a negative image. The anti-corruption boss added that part of the mandate of the commission is to investigate and prosecute corrupt practices, and also commended the NYSC EFCC Anti-Corruption Unit for their activities towards stemming the tide of corruption in the country. The EFCC boss also praised the NYSC core doctors and other paramedics for offering medical services to its staff and detainees across the country, urging them to continue in positive stead. He stressed the Commission's readiness to lend support to the actualization of the NYSC Trust Fund as it would address infrastructural deficits in the scheme and also offer start-up capitals to core members as they exit service. The NYSC Director General, Major General Shoaib Ibrahim, stressed the need to ensure a collaborative effort in fighting corruption in the country to make it more penetrating. He said the scheme would continue to enlighten Nigerians on the dangers of corruption while using core members who are burning with so much patriotic zeal. The Federal High Court sitting in Abuja Monday declined to order the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency (NDLEA) to release the suspended Deputy Commissioner of Police DCP Abba Kyari, who is currently in its custody on bail. The court, in a ruling that was delivered by Justice Inyangekwo, fixed March 15th to hear the fundamental right enforcement suit the embattled DCP filed to query the legality of his arrest and continued detention. Justice Ekwo held that Kyari's application for bail was overtaken by events, noting that a sister court had already granted the NDLEA the permission to detain him for 14 days, pending the conclusion of its investigations. He held that Kyari's bail application could not be granted since the order for his further detention emanated from a court of coordinate jurisdiction. Justice Ekwo said he would only hear the applicant's fundamental rights suit after the expiration of his 14-day detention period. The ruling came on the day the NDLEA sought to dismiss Kyari's suit for lacking merit. We'll take a break and we'll come back with stories from Russia and Ukraine war.
This is your radio. This is your radio.
Star FM 101.5 gives you the best of music, news, talk, entertainment, and sports like never before. We give you incisive news every hour, quality music, and sports all day round. Listen to the most entertaining, creative morning show on radio as Star FM gives you top newspaper review, headlines about politics, business, crime, events, and entertainment stories between 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. daily. Our midday show gives you classic, up-tempo, and contemporary urban music to start your day and get you energized. Between 10 to 12 noon daily, we serve it fresh. Now, take your lunch with us on Lunch Hour Show between 12 noon and 2 p.m. as we pack you with good mix of music loaded with interactive live chart, comedy, game shows, and current events. Our word of sport on Star FM comes on daily at the 5 o'clock hour, 6 o'clock hour, and 10 o'clock hour daily on Star. Our evening belt showcase a mix of urban music, oldies laced with big jokes, talent hunt shows, and relationships. You don't want to miss is the PM Crew. And round up your day with us on Body and Soul, 11 p.m. to 1 a.m. daily with the very best of rhythm and blues, cool music to take you to Wonderland. Join us daily as we give you the very best of music, news, sports, talk, and all-round entertainment. Star FM 101.5, entertaining you all the time. Star FM, your favorite radio station. Star FM on DSTV 869.
Welcome back. Africans fleeing the conflict in Ukraine said they face racism and discrimination at the border between Poland and Ukraine. Some Africans said officials rudely stopped them from crossing the border for days in spite of the cold and lack of food and other supplies, even as they let white refugees enter the country. Social media users were outraged by some of the videos shared, with one clearly showing a Ukrainian border guard vehicle. Thousands of young African students are studying in Ukraine, mostly from Nigeria, Ghana, Kenya, South Africa, Ethiopia, Somalia, and other countries, drawn by the high standard of education and low cost. Nigerian Foreign Minister Geoffrey Nyama called on the Ukrainian counterpart to clarify the situation. And talks between Ukrainian and Russian delegation in Belarus began just on Monday. Reports say Ukraine's delegation includes several high-ranking officials, but not the president himself. The country demanded an immediate ceasefire and withdrawal of Russian troops in the lead-up to the meeting. Mackay said the president of Belarus welcomed the delegates and has provided everything for the work, as agreed with President Volodymyr Zelensky and President Putin. This is said is their sacred duty. President Lukashenko sincerely hopes that during the talks today, it will be possible to find a solution to the crisis in Ukraine. The exact location of the meeting, however, between Russia and Ukraine on Monday has been kept a secret for security reasons. Meanwhile, senior EU and French officials said the European Union was preparing to grant Ukrainians fleeing the war the right to stay and work in the 24-nation bloc for up to 3 years. They thanked volunteers at the border for helping those who arrived. At least 300,000 Ukrainian refugees have entered the EU so far, and the bloc needs to prepare for millions more, they said. EU members Poland, Romania, Slovakia, Hungary have land borders with Ukraine. French Interior Minister Gerald Darmanin, who disclosed this on Monday, stated the EU Interior Minister had on Sunday tasked the European Commission with the preparing of a draft proposal to grant them protection. Ministers would meet again on Thursday to agree on the details. And the United Nations Refugee Agency said Monday that more than 500,000 people have fled Ukraine since Russia invaded the country last week. United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees Filippo Grandi gave the estimate in a tweet. UNHCR spokeswoman Shabia Mantou said the latest and still growing count had 281,000 people entering Poland, more than 84,500 in Hungary, about 36,400 in Moldova, over 32,500 in Romania, and 30,000 in Slovakia. She said the rest were scattered in unidentified other countries. Other train carrying hundreds of refugees from Ukraine arrived earlier on Monday in the town of Przemysl in the southeastern Poland. Bringing you sports stories right after this break. In the world of sports, Anthony Joshua revealed he will be rooting for Dillian Whyte against Tyson Fury, despite expressing his hatred for him. The all-British showdown between WBC champion Fury and mandatory challenger Whyte was finally confirmed for Wembley Stadium on the 23rd of April after weeks of negotiations. Joshua was expected to fight the unified heavyweight titles against Alexander Usyk shortly after, but there are doubts about the bout, with the Ukrainian reportedly returning home following the invasion by Russia. The winner of the clash between Joshua and Usyk, whenever that is scheduled for, will likely be the next opponent for the victor of Fury's second world title defense. But Joshua has made it clear who he wants to see come out on top as Whyte looks to an end Fury's unbeaten record. And Gianluigi Buffon has signed a contract extension with Parma, that will keep him at the club until June 2024. The veteran goalkeeper made his Parma debut back in 1995, age 17, and after two spells with Juventus and a season with Paris Saint-Germain, he returned to the Stadio Ennio Tardini last year. Italy great Buffon, who made a record 176 appearances for Azzurri, has appeared 23 times for Parma in the Serie B this season, with Giuseppe Iacchini's side currently in 13th position. His efforts have since been rewarded with a one-year extension, but he will continue playing football past the age of 46. Parma President Kyle Krause announced Buffon's renewal at the news conference on Monday. And in the world of tennis, Daniil Medvedev has officially been crowned as the ATP's new world #1. The Russian, who claimed his first Grand Slam title at the US Open last year and reached this year's Australian Open final, only to lose to Rafael Nadal, has been sure of his place at the top of the rankings since Novak Djokovic's shock defeat to Jiri Vesely in the Dubai Tennis Championships last week. Medvedev was aiming to cap off a sensational week by claiming victory at the Mexican Open, but the 26-year-old lost to eventual champion Nadal in the semi-finals in Acapulco. ATP says it took a look at the numbers behind Medvedev's rise to #1. Medvedev is the first player outside of the big four of Djokovic, Nadal, Roger Federer and Andy Murray to be crowned #1 since Andy Roddick way back on the 1st of February 2004. And for female tennis, former U.S. Open winner Sloane Stephens claimed the first WTA title since 2018 after downing Mary Bouzkova in 3 sets in Sunday's Alberto Zapopan's decider in Guadalajara. American 6-seed Stephens triumphed 7-5, 1-6 and 6-2 in an epic final which lasted 2 hours and 20 minutes against 96th ranked Bouzkova. Stephens, who won the 2017 U.S. Open, has struggled to rediscover our previous levels of success in recent years, having gone undefeated in the first 6 WTA singles finals of her career and reaching the world #3 ranking. But Sunday's triumph, Stephens' 7th career WTA title, marks a major return to form from the 28-year-old who lost in the first round of last month's Australian Open to Emma Raducanu. Stephens had trailed 4-1 in the first set but hit back before Bouzkova double-faulted on break point at 5-5. And in basketball, LeBron James considered the season indefinitely different after the Los Angeles Lakers slumped to another defeat on Sunday. The Lakers were humiliated 123-95 by the New Orleans Pelicans at home, giving up 23 turnovers for the game, which was the team's most this season. James and Russell Westbrook combined for 14 turnovers, which was their worst return as teammates. The only positive was James scored 32 points, marking his 500th career game with 30 points or more. But that was not enough to prevent a 5th defeat in 6 matches for the Lakers, with James recognizing the need for a win to provide a catalyst for a turnaround. Thank you for joining us on the news at 6 tonight. Join us again at 9:30 for our primetime news. I am Tomisi Ojo. Good evening.